Welcome to Merely Your Guide, and today what we're going to do is do an evaluation of different weighted vests. And for this evaluation, I've asked two of my clients, both of different statures, to come and join me in evaluating which they thought was their favorite or least favorite, or at least to give me their opinion on the vests. So here goes.
This is my favorite, my most favorite vest. And it feels comfortable. I like the distribution of the weights all around my hips. I can wear clothes under, and I can even wear my winter coat on top. So it's really very flexible, and I can adjust it. I just loosen the belt a little when I wear like a little jacket. If I just wear a t-shirt in the summer, I just tighten it, and I can wear this. And in the winter, or the colder weather, I've had another jacket on, and it's very comfortable. I like the looks, and so I like it.
Okay, there are 4 or 5 vests that we've been trying on and off, and not that any of them is my least or favorite, because I can find positive and negative qualities in each of them. This particular one, the positive thing about it is that the weights feel comfortable on this one around the hips. However, the fit for me with a shorter frame is actually not a good one. I feel as if it's hanging a little bit too much down below my waist. If I were taller, it would actually fit more comfortably. One negative aspect is this little tie, or rather closure, that is a distraction. However, it's not an issue necessarily if you like the rest of the. That's right, it can be cut off. As far as appearance is concerned, it's very attractive. But again, if you're also looking for fit, it's way too big for me.
So the Walkvest is the least favorite of mine, but not by a lot. The two key reasons that it is the least favorite, for my stature, being 5'2", the small is just really big. So even with making the belts as tight as possible, I still find it a very loose fitting vest. I'm not a huge fan of cotton, and the buttons, it does bother me when I invest a lot of money in a vest that the buttons start to fall off. So although it doesn't affect the function, it's just sort of an indication of quality for me. And lastly, I really don't like being a walking billboard, and so the WV on the front and on the back, although it has a nice reflective quality to it, I would rather it just be a stripe.
Okay, so this vest is probably, along with the other red vest, my favorite vest. It feels comfortable. I do like the texture of this too. It's not quilted, or it's not heavy looking either. I think in terms of appearance, it looks good. The weights are even, the weights around my waist feel very comfortable. This vest accommodates 4 pounds normally. There are these flat plates, of which we don't know the material. However, they're a little bit sharp on the edges, and if you try to double up, I think you might stress the material of the vest itself. However, they are flat, and they do feel less bulky around your waist than some of the other vests do, because of the fact that they're flat. If you knew that you were going to go with 8 or 12 pounds or increase the weight in your vest beyond the capacity of this one, then it probably won't be the vest for you. But really, it is a very comfortable, good-looking vest.
Well, of all the vests that I've tried, this is my least favorite. And the main reason is where the weight sits, or the weights sit on my hips. I find that it's too heavy on my hip bones, and also the bean bags don't spread the weight properly. It's dragging me down. With regards to the look of the vest, I really wouldn't mind wearing it. I think it's fine. It's what's more important to me is how it feels while I use it.
This vest is one that I consider a proper fit for my height and or weight or shape, and the fact that the weights are down here is a good feeling. Again, as I said, my preference would be for weights around my, or just higher up. However, this is a very snug fit. It fits well, so appearance-wise, it's something that I would wear very readily with just a t-shirt. Again, this does allow for putting on a jacket in the winter. So I think it's a little bit, it's actually quite versatile in that respect. The fabric is a nice one. It doesn't really feel as thick as a couple of the other vests, which give you that more, which give you that heavier look. So in that sense, it's more attractive. This vest is probably the most unique looking one of the collection that we have today. However, there are many pros and cons. For me, particularly as a small statured person, I find it extremely bulky. I don't really like the idea of having this much girth. I also think that it's the weights for me are sitting they're not on my waist and they're not on my chest, so they're a little bit in between. I'm very conscious of the weights as opposed to being able to walk or not, just the heaviness of it.
This is my favorite vest for two reasons. The first reason is that I can start low. Each weight is 3 pounds. It can then build up to 32 pounds, which for the majority of you listening to this is far more than you'll ever need. But in my case, I have a husband and a son that like to work out, and so all of a sudden, if I'm going to invest in a weighted vest, it's really nice to invest in one that they can also use. My 15-year-old thought it was great. He had it on working out last night, and certainly he can comfortably wear it up to 32 pounds for his training when doing his squats and lunges, whereas I'm going to be more comfortable keeping it to the 15 to 21 pound range. So that's one of the reasons. The second reason is it's very, very durable, and I know it'll last a lifetime. So, you know, the investment is well made, and it has a lot of adjustments in terms of the belts, the fit as well. I do like, so I guess just 3 reasons. I do like the fact that the weight sits close to the shoulder blades. You can start it here and then lower down, because that does help with the alignment. So those are the reasons that I've chosen this vest, the MIR, as my favorite vest.
This is a very interesting vest because I find that it looks quite different from the ones that we've been looking at in the collection. It's lighter in many respects in terms of the fabric, and I think it accommodates the weights for me more comfortably because they're higher. There's nothing that's adding girth to begin with, but also fitting tightly around the waist. So if you're worried about that, it might not be the one for you. The negative aspect of this, though, the more negative aspect is in terms of the fit. It's very loose. In terms of the fabric, I think it's probably the least durable. It does look quite untraditional and may appeal to many women. And in fact, it does appeal in terms of a different kind of style, because I think it shows a little bit of the sides, which also allows for walking more comfortably. The weights, as I was saying, are the positive things about this vest. I think I would buy this primarily because I feel the most comfortable walking in this, and I'm not conscious that I have on a vest walking down the street if I choose to wear it outdoors.
So as you've noticed, different individuals based on what body part they're either wanting to accentuate or to hide, their stature, their height, how much body fat they have in terms of the weights being hard and sitting on their pelvis, and they're feeling the weights. All of those things play a role in choosing the vest that you feel is the best vest for you. And so although I'd like to make a recommendation for each of you, I can't do that. And this is the closest I've come to giving you an answer to the many questions that came my way after I wrote the article on the weighted vest. And so hopefully it allows you to choose the best vest for you.